This is my brother and best friend, Danny. He's 19 years old and is on the autism spectrum, a range of disorders that will affect more children than AIDS, cancer, and diabetes combined this year. Do you remember what your first feelings were when Danny was first diagnosed with autism?
He wasn't diagnosed with autism until he was about 8 years old. He was diagnosed as a child with a learning disability when he was about 2.5.
We had to deal with it and find out more information about all the things we could do to make it worthwhile for Danny.
Went to a special preschool and was in special ed classes and small contained classes in starting in first grade or even kindergarten. He was always classified as a child with a speech and learning disability, but not until he was about 8 years old did I take him to a specialist at Hackensack Hospital. And they said he had PDD, which is pervasive developmental disorder, which is on the autistic spectrum.
Autism is really the DSM-4, and now it's revised. Actually, it has certain criteria for autism, but it's really 3 major things that you have to meet that criteria. And one is an impairment in social interaction, so it might be hard to make eye contact or hard to be reciprocal in talking to another person. Another thing is an impairment in communication. So some students with autism can't really speak at all, or they have a hard time with the back and forth of conversation. And another thing is restrictive or repetitive behavior, or maybe you get stuck in routines. There has to be some kind of impairment that shows before age 3 to be diagnosed with autism.
Like most other 19-year-olds, Danny is capable of cooking and cleaning and taking care of himself. Unlike most other 19-year-olds, parts of his mindset are still that of a child.
And I love watching Disney movies all the time.
With Danny, it's I have a 10-year-old brother and he's going to be like a kid for the rest of his life.
Well, years ago, and I got Princess Minnie, Daisy, and Dumbo from 3 different places in Disney World.
I think there's different kinds of worries with raising you and your sister. You're going to go to school, you're going to get jobs, you're going to take care of yourself, you're going to meet somebody, get married, have children. With him, I worry who's going to take care of him when I'm gone. That's, I guess, is the hardest thing to think about and worry about. I've been a Special Olympics coach now for about 4.5 years. I absolutely love it. It is the most rewarding thing that I do.
What was it like coaching Danny when he was younger, playing hockey?
It was tough. He didn't always want to do it. He didn't want to play. You had to figure out ways to try to push him to do it.
I coach with somebody who screams and yells and tries to get them to do what she wants them to do, and they don't listen. But as long as they go out and have fun, and if I can teach them a skill on how to shoot a puck a different way, or where to stand when I think they could score the basketball, or score a basket in basketball, or how to just not to touch the ball in a soccer game. It's huge.
At West Point, our 3 events are javelin, and 100 meters, and long jump. And I was so excited about getting first
I
place.
took the whole team of about 10 kids up to West Point for a track and field event. It was awesome. A lot of the families came, a lot of friends came. It was an awesome experience, and seeing the smiles on their faces, whether they won a gold, silver, or bronze medal, or whether they just got a ribbon, it was unbelievable.
And my teammate Sean McCarthy blew them away, and he got first place. And Richard had first place too, in javelin, and everyone was so happy for me.
Well, it's great to see that he does stuff and he enjoys doing it, and he has a lot of fun doing it, and he's become very good at it.
In the past few years, Danny has developed an obsession with the New York Rangers and the NHL's most hated player, Sean Avery.
And I was very pleased for Sean Avery to win the ice hockey game in NHL, and they beat Washington Capitals and Philadelphia Flyers I went back to my spot to cheer Sean Avery for the rest of the period. So happy to see him on the phone and just talk to him on the phone on Daddy's cell.
Yeah.
And I was so excited that he's back on the team after he got fired for so many fighting. That is my picture of Brendan Dubinsky and his other hockey buddy. And that is a mural of Sean Avery. I was happy that he was up there on that mural with his hockey teams. So, and that is my New York Rangers sticker, and it came in the mail. And so does that the Brendan Dubinsky and his hockey buddy. And I was very pleased to see Sean Avery out there in the ice hockey rink in MSG.
And me and my friends are going to talk to the principal at our school about doing an Erase the R Word campaign.
The next step is to look for agencies and programs that'll have things for him to do, work programs and stuff when he graduates.
And I was happy that I'm going to graduate from high school soon. And three of my friends are Avery Laporte, Jacob Rappaport, and Augie. They'll be graduating from high school this year.
He'll graduate from high school when he's about 20, about a month and a half before his 21st birthday. So then transitioning him from school to a job after he graduates is the next thing we really need to start working on, and looking and interviewing agencies and see what we think each agency has to offer and what will be best for him.
And I'll be so excited to graduate too.